Okay, for this one, I wanted to bring to attention probably one of the most unfortunate species in my story, and that would be the Prophasis. And I did end up renaming them the Bode, but the original name, the Prophasis, means the name is Latin, and it means pretext or explanation. And this was meant to symbolize their role as intermediaries between dimensions. That's right. They were initially intended to be emissaries between the Ignavara and Primus, but that's a story for another day. I'm here right now to talk about the Prophasis. Their backstory is that the Bode, the Prophasis, since renamed the Bode, were created by Primus, an extra-dimensional entity to communicate with beings on Earth before humanity's time. However, their design was flawed due to the challenge of creating entities perceptible across multiple dimensions. This made the Bode invisible and incomprehensible to those they were meant to contact. Truly unfortunate and an oversight in their creation by Primus. Oof. In desperation to fulfill their purpose, the Bode created a mediary creature, the Slothoquitter, to bridge the gap. However, this went horribly wrong, leading to the annihilation of the species the Bode sought to communicate with. Again, there was a slight tweak in that lore, and I don't know why it's not in this, but the Slothoquitter, and again, I'm not going to get into that, that's a creature for another video, was created by accident when the Bode psionically linked with a spider, and there was some kind of feedback loop that drove one of the Bode insane and kind of messed with its biology, and it merged with a spider in some crazy ways. And yeah, like I said, we'll get to that in another video because I'm not getting into that here. There's just way too much to cover, and I want to get through the Prophasis as fast as humanly possible. Although I should probably count my words on that because I'm only 3 minutes in and we're already making some good progress. So maybe I will get into the other stuff, who knows. But nevertheless, that's not really relevant. I suppose I should read this. Physical and psionic traits. Physically, the Bode are described as frail and scrawny, though their exact appearance remains largely unknown because nobody can see them. We just think we know what they look like because they exist between dimensions. They can't eat anything, so they're probably tall and scrawny. That's just an assumption made by those who are somewhat aware in my stories about the Bode's existence. Their psionic abilities include emotional manipulation, instilling fear, warping perceptions. These abilities are a double-edged sword as they serve as their defense mechanism, but also exacerbate the fear and misunderstanding they face. Yes. Current status. After the failure of the Slothoquitter and the destruction of the original target species, the Bode went into hiding, fearing their own creation and humanity's growing presence. They thought to exist in isolation. Regions such as the Arctic and possibly in subterranean facilities revealed by the coronal mass ejection These bases were likely built by the original species for research purposes. And again, those are things for another video, if not just, I'll finish my book eventually. Christ. One of these years. Tragic role in the story. Very tragic. The whole story of the Bode is just tragic existence. The Bode's psionic abilities and invisibility have made them a source of fear and misunderstanding. That's an understatement. Humanity views them as a threat, while the Bode themselves are simply trying to survive and atone for their unintended destruction. They are victims of their creator's flawed design and humanity's fear of the unknown. Involvement in the story's present. Wait, let's check the other notes. Where's the other notes? Yay me! I found the updated lore notes that I misplaced, and I was reading the outdated ones. Oops. Anyway, at least you can compare the old lore to the new lore. The Bode are a mysterious psionic species defined by their incomplete existence within the third dimension and their reliance on psychic abilities to interact with it. They were created by Primus, a higher dimensional entity with the intent on serving as intermediaries between the higher planes and three-dimensional beings. However, a series of tragic misunderstandings has defined their existence, resulting in unintended chaos, and a role they never intended to play. Purpose and origins. Primus. I guess you get a brief explanation of Primus. A being who spans 9 dimensions, created the Bode as emissaries to communicate with three-dimensional species. The Bode were meant to exist in 3 dimensions, but due to Primus's flawed understanding of dimensional perception, can only perceive 2. To compensate, they developed powerful psionic abilities, which act as a bridge between their limited perception and the 3-dimensional reality they were meant to interact with. These psionic abilities are not merely a power, but fundamental aspects of the Bode's existence, allowing them to reach, in big quotes there, into the third-dimensional space, despite lacking a full physical presence there. This adaptation enables them to manipulate matter, influence consciousness, and interact with their surroundings, albeit in a way that often leads to unintended consequences. Appearance. The Bode's appearance is largely unknown, even to those who may suspect their existence. Based on distant observations and cryptic sightings, they are thought to appear frail and wispy. There you go, with a ghostly shadow-like form. They lack a fully tangible presence, often appearing as shadows or glimmers rather than fully physical beings. This fleeting, semi-ethereal appearance adds to the sense of mystery and fear around them. God damn, I went all out with this lore. The Bode's psionic abilities are essential to their survival, filling the gap left by their 2-dimensional perception. These abilities are powerful yet unpredictable, driven by a mix of instinct and necessity. Psychic influence. The bode's presence causes shifts in perception and emotion, primarily manifesting as an overwhelming sense of fear and confusion. This influence is not always intentional, it is an unavoidable effect of their psychic energy interacting with three-dimensional beings. Environmental manipulation. Their psionic field allows them to create minor environmental effects like subtle gravitational shifts, distortions, or sensory anomalies. These effects. Oh, sorry. Oh, wait, no. These effects are side effects. I probably could have worded that better. Holy crap. These side effects. Christ, see what I mean? These effects are side effects of their psychic energy and can often be mistaken for supernatural phenomena. Dimensional awareness. Although the Bode are aware of the three-dimensional world, they cannot fully understand or interact with it in the way physical beings do. Their psionic abilities allow them to approximate perception and interaction with three-dimensional objects, but this perception is limited and prone to misunderstanding, leading to frequent unintended consequences. Again, the unfortunate existence of being a bode. Creation of the Slothiquitter, and I already see the updated lore for the Slothiquitter is in this. In one of their first attempts to communicate with a three-dimensional civilization, an accidental misconnection with an arachnid, class Arachnida phylum Arthropoda, triggered a feedback loop that fractured the bode's consciousness, creating the Slothiquitter, an entity of chaos and instinct with no control over its psychic abilities. Again, truly, absolutely freaking terrifying. The Slothiquitter quickly became an independent, evolving threat, with traits and abilities drawn from the environment and species it encountered. Unlike the Bode, who passively influence their surroundings, the Slothiquitter actively absorbs and reflects the characteristics of Christ. The Slothiquitter actively absorbs and reflects the characteristics of the beings, resulting in one developing unique and unpredictable traits. God damn! The Slothiquitter initially wreaked havoc on the avian species that the Bode were meant to communicate with. In a desperate effort to destroy their creation, the Bode attempted a drastic measure, creating a cold spot on the sun's surface in hopes of triggering a phenomenon that would eliminate the Slothiquitter. This, in big quotes here, scorched earth solution. I guess you could put it that way. Fuck. An indicator of the Bode's lack of subtlety, you could say, and cultural understanding of the physical world, for lack of a better term. Tragically backfired is an understatement. The attempt resulted in a solar flare. Yeah, you don't say. Devastating the avian homeworld without eradicating the Slothiquitter. Again, you'd find out why in another video about the Slothiquitter if I don't tell why in this. From this failure, the Bode developed a deep fear of the Slothiquitter, recognizing their inability or influence control of their creation. They have since avoided direct interaction with other species, fearing another catastrophic outcome. Damn, this is really long. I really fleshed out the Bode's lore in this. I suppose I needed to for the book, so there was that. The coronal mass ejection that impacted humanity. Unrelated to the Bode's actions, a natural coronal mass ejection, CME, struck Earth, stripping its atmosphere and causing global catastrophe. I don't know why I did that. While this event mirrored the Bode's prior failed attempt with the avians, it was a natural phenomenon that had no connection It was a natural phenomenon that had absolutely no connection to their actions whatsoever. For humanity, however, this resemblance led to myths that cast the Bode as responsible for the CME, though no humans are aware of the Bode's existence. Only Elizabeth and the unknown doctor are suspicious of their existence, like their sensor data and stuff around the cities, like strange activities and unusual readings from consoles and sensors and stuff like that. Reproduction and evolution of the Slothoquitter. So you get more lore on the Slothoquitter. How exciting. The Slothoquitter, fuck's sakes, with the name. Why did I name it that? The Slothoquitter propagate through psionically sensitive eggs. What? The Slothoquitter propagate through psionically sensitive eggs, each evolving based on the environment and psychic input it absorbs before hatching. That's fucking cool. What? I like that. I came up with that. The chaotic methods of reproduction. I wrote this a long time ago. Well, not that long ago, but long enough ago for me to forget what a lot of this is, which is a lot of the reason why I wanted to get this shit digitized. The Bode have no direct control. This chaotic method of reproduction results in each Slothoquitter developing unique traits depending on its surroundings, creating a wide array of abilities. The Bode have no direct control over these creatures as their psychic abilities evolved instinctively and chaotically, often exceeding the limits of the Bode influence. A few Slothoquitter are believed to be in A few Slothoquitters are believed to be in stasis in remote locations. There we go. Waiting to reawaken when environmental conditions align. Internal culture and understanding of the physical world. The Bode's internal culture and psychology remains mysterious, largely due to their limited abilities to understand or engage with the physical world. While the Bode possesses a sense of purpose as intermediaries, they lack the cultural depth of three-dimensional species as their perception restricts them from forming complex social systems. They rely heavily on instinct, often resorting to extreme solutions because they lack nuanced understanding of their own power and its consequences. So they're just like, I can do this, so I should do this. And maybe they'll talk to me. The Bode's knowledge of the physical world is therefore flawed. Yeah, no shit. And often leads them to take drastic actions without foreseeing the impact. This has resulted in a cycle of unintended harm, with the Bode forever haunted by their mistakes yet unable to correct them. Today current role and legacy. Today the Bode exist in a state of isolation, haunted by the unintended consequences of their actions and their inability to fully understand a physical world they remain hidden in. Their interactions with other species resulting in fear and misunderstanding due to overwhelming psychic field they emit, despite their best intentions. The Bode's limited understanding of three-dimensional existence traps them in a cycle of extreme actions. Christ. They often create more harm than good. Their story, if known, would be one of tragic misunderstanding, a reminder of dangers, crossing dimensions without full comprehension. Yeah, no shit. Good job, Primus. Yeah, that's the Bode, basically. Thanks for listening. Oh my god, I need to go lay down after reading that one. I didn't realize how long that one was, but I really went all out when I when did I do that one? October 25th. of 24. I don't remember. Must have been one of those fever dream writing sessions when I was just like sick of guessing shit. So I was just like, you know what, let's just flush this out so I don't have to think about it ever again. And clearly I didn't think about it ever again because I forgot I fucking wrote all of this. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and comment about what you think. It would be greatly appreciated. I upload Tuesdays and Saturdays at 10 a.m.